Hi everybody, it's another beautiful day here in Massachusetts. Hubby here with Just About Anything Garage. I wanted to take a second to give you an update because we promised to talk to you about how we were going to upgrade the shop and stuff, and we've gotten a new piece in to go ahead and do that, and we're going to make it a little mini series as we go and we get it ready here. But here it is, here we go. We've gotten the shop lift in. It's a Titan 9,000 pound asymmetrical lift. We've got it unpackaged here. We're going through it to make sure that we have everything, and we're going to go step by step to get it set up in here. We got to do a little bit of work on getting it ready to go and get it installed and move some stuff around. We're going to show you all that. We're going to go and get it all set up, so stay tuned, and we'll show you how we go ahead and we set this lift up, and hopefully everything will go without any hitch, and if not, you'll get to see the hitches. So if you decide to put a lift in, you can go ahead and reference this and see what it does. So hang on, and we'll be with you on the other sections. We're back with the great saga of getting the lift up. I want to go ahead and show you what I did here with the lift. I have, of course, a gantry crane right here, and we had to get it off the mounting bracket. So what we did is we just went ahead and took a strap. We took our gantry crane here and we strapped it up. We took the bolts out. It has just basically 4 bolts here, 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 and here. You keep the hardware because the hardware is reused when you put it up, and you got it up on the gantry crane like this. Now what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and let that down, of course. We'll do the other one. We'll put a strap on it. This one's pretty close to the ground already, but we'll go ahead and strap it, pick it up just a little bit, and get it repositioned, because this one's going to turn. The positions for these are going to basically be this one that's currently up on the stand right here is going to go right in this corner right in here. And then this one that's up on the floor on its case right here is just going to go over into that corner right over there, just behind that seat that I've been using. So we'll go ahead, we'll get that down on the ground so that you can see it down there. And on the next major step, we'll go ahead and we'll bring you back in, get you to take a look at it. All right, hi there. Okay, we're back in the garage, and we're still working on the lift to get that all set up and getting ready to go. I just wanted to update you on it real quick. We're a couple days after the last recording here, and so what we needed to do is after we unpackaged was get the lifts moved around, figure out where we were going to set everything, and we've gone ahead and done that. So let me show you real quick where we're at right here. Here's the lift. It's set up on a couple of moving dollies, and so that we can go ahead and position it into the correct place, which is about here. It wasn't hard to do, even though I'm a single person working on this. What I basically did was, after we used the crane, the shop crane right over here, to go ahead and get it unpackaged off of the stuff, I just went and took my good old 3-ton floor jack, jacked it up a little bit, stuck these moving dollies underneath it to move it around, and now we got it more or less positioned where we need it so that the bolts fall into the right place, and we stay away from the expansion joints and all that type of stuff. So we're getting ready to go and set that up. The way that we're going to do that is I have let's go ahead and walk over and take a look at it real quick. Back here we have got a 12K winch that we're going to go ahead and set up to winch things in. But first what we're going to do is get it all set up. We're going to go ahead and take it and get a pulley set up on a joist up there. We'll run it down across the pulley to the top of the columns, and we'll just use the winch to pull the columns upright. Once we got them there, we'll shimmy them all into place, get it exactly where it needs to do, and start the attachment process. So we're going to go ahead and get everything positioned here, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get everything set up. And once we do that, we'll bring you right back into the process. So I hope you're finding this helpful if you decide to do a lift, and we'll update you in just a little bit. Thanks. Okay, hi there. We're back again with the great lift adventure. Let me show you where we're at right now. I'll talk you through a couple things. First off, we got the lifts laid out and getting the columns ready to be erected. Let me show you. There they are. They're laid out. They're in the proper locations. We even took the crossbar and attached it to make sure that we were properly lined when we did that. So they're all set and ready to swing upwards and get into position. And when they get into position, they should be at the correct distance that they need to be at. The way that we're going to do this is we have installed a winch. We're going to use the winch on a general purpose to pull cars in and out of the shop. On the middle, let me show you what we got right here. There's the winch set up right there. We set up on a Reese's connection so we can take it right out when we want and use it in other places like that. What we're going to do basically is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take my snatch block that I have that we use for the general towing winch. Why is this not showing me? What's going on? There we go. I'm back. I can see it now. We're going to go ahead and use the snatch block, and what we're going to do is we're going to put like a 1-inch all threaded rod through in 2 spots. First, lined up here, up on this spot right here between the 2 joists, where we'll go ahead and we'll thread that. We'll use it as a pulley to go down and connect. We'll use the straps right there to wrap it around, and we'll just use that winch to go ahead and pull it up. Then we'll go ahead and we'll take and we'll move it over onto this side, pull that 1-inch bar out, put it up between the joists right here. Go ahead and spin it up, and on this one we'll have to spin a little bit around because it's going to come up right on the track. If you can see right there, right on the track, it's going to hit with that, so we're going to have to push that around that as we're lifting that up. And we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll show you the setup when we have the setup all ready to go. We probably will not film while we're lifting it because we want to be focused on it because they're pretty heavy. We want to make sure they go up, they don't wobble or anything like that. So we'll be back when we're with that stage. So hang in there. We appreciate it. Hi there. Well, I thought I'd stop in and give you another update on the lift project where we're trying to get the lift up. It's been probably about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks since the last time I updated. We had to wait for some parts to come in. And as you can see, the lift is all laid out, the columns are laid out, but we've got some additions here. We've gone ahead and we've got a system set up to where we can use our winch that's at the back. That's like 750-pound chain up there with my snatch block that we're using as a pulley onto this winch which we installed, which is 1,300 pounds. And it doesn't have to lift that much. Each of the columns is actually only about 500 pounds a piece. So it should be fine. It doesn't have to support it. The floor is going to actually support the weight on it because it's going to be resting. We're not trying to lift it all the way up. All we're trying to do is just rank it up. We've got it set up with a nice big strap on it with good strong connectors. And I got another strap on the back that we'll put a counter pull on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to get a crew out here to go ahead and get it up, but we're not going to film that because we want to focus on safety and not worry about it. We don't necessarily want to catch anything like destruction. I know you guys might want to see destruction if it happens, but we don't want to capture that. So we're going to just go ahead and get it up. I might stop halfway as it's up to show you that everything's working fine, let you know if we've got any issues or anything like that. And then we'll show you up in position and we'll just keep filling you in like that. So I appreciate it. We'll be back when we get to the next step, so just hang in there. Thanks. All right, so hi there. It is April 8th, Eclipse Day, of course. And I thought I'd give you an update here. We're going to go and continue with the lift project and where we are with that. So I don't remember if I showed you it upright, but we got it upright. We used the winch. And as you can see, the winch cable is firmly attached here. We're using this kind of a safety line for it. Worked perfect. The only issue, the only thing, not even an issue, the just thing you have to realize is as it starts lifted, it tries to slide a little bit. So we took this 2x4 right here, put it on either side, put one foot on one side, one on the other, just held it till it got up to about a 30-degree angle, and then everything was fine. So we're getting ready to bolt it down. We had to do some shimming with it though, because the floor isn't quite flat, And I know you're seeing this crease to crack, but as long as you're 5 inches, 4.5, 5 inches away from it, you're fine. We're like 4 3/4 on both of the holes away from that, so we'll be fine. And I've got 6 inches of concrete underneath it for the floor, so it'll bolt right in there. So we got to do some shims. They gave us a bunch of shims here with it, but they say right in the paperwork that here's the shim right there. They're 1/16 shims. They say that it's better if you do full shims. So what I did is I went and I got some 1/16 16 gauge sheet metal, which is 1/16, and we're doing full length shims on it. These are the holes that we're going to drill and then cut to access the slide in there. And I get it pretty plumb. It's not plumb when it sits like this, but it's plumb in both directions. When we put the shims, at least within, oh, I don't know, maybe a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch. If you look up at the top, you can't, I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera now, but it doesn't look plumb, but to the reference. But when you put those shims in and then you bolt, it's going to pull right up plumb, and we'll show you those readings once we have that. It's pretty far out right as it sits where it is, but we're getting there. Once we get that one done, we'll pull the other one up. The cross beam goes apart, goes across it to secure it at the top, and then we go ahead and square it and plumb it to this one when we're ready to go. So we'll show you the setup on that one once we're ready, and then we'll show you when it's up. If I can have a crew that doesn't mind being on camera, maybe I'll show you it being winched up. So that's where we're at, and we'll keep you up to date. Appreciate it, and we'll be back when we hit the next step. All right, we're back again. We're going to give you another update. It's been about a day since I updated you on the lift, and we got the first column all set. There it is right there, all set up and lifted and tied down. It's all plumb and square in the directions that it needs to be. The fasteners are in. They're all at the proper depth in the concrete and torque down to 85 foot-pounds. Let me tell you, that's a lot of torque when you're torquing on those. I did them in 3 stages actually when I did it. Let's see, what did we do? We did 45, 65, and then 85. We torqued the bolts down to in those 3 stages to go ahead and get that ready to go. So next time you see this, you'll see the other column up. You'll see the crossbar going attached, and perhaps we'll give you a little show of drilling the hole, seeing how it's me and not any of my crew, which is camera shy, and we'll go from there. So we'll see you in a little bit again. Thanks for watching. Good morning. How is everybody today? We're about a day from the last update or so. So I wanted to just show you what we did in terms of getting things up here. And basically this is where we stand. The other lift, the other column, we've got it up right. We've gone ahead and cranked it up. We've got the cross member going across. You can see I have a ratcheting tie because we had to push it out a little bit and then pull it back in because we had to slip it straight in because of how close we are to the top. So we have a full lift set. As we covered before, we have this one all torqued down and ready to go. So we're using it as a reference point. So what we're going to do now is I need to get the base squared up in terms of the right distances between the two. Now the tops are at the right distances, the center is at the right distance, but the bottom is out a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that ratcheting tie. We're going to come across the bottom here. We're going to hook to it, and we're going to pull it in so that the bottom's at the right distance. Once we hit the bottom at the right distance, we're going to go ahead and we'll check again for our squareness and plumb. We'll make sure that we're plumb up and down, and we're pretty good here. We're within the bubble with respect to that. And then we're going to go ahead and make sure that we're square facing each other, and that each of these line up. These are pretty close, within probably an eighth in terms of how they align from this direction. As you're viewing down here, they're aligned with each other. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to certify all of that. So I will go ahead and I will do that. I'll get that all set up, and once that's set up and coming back, since I'm here alone again, I will go ahead and I'll show you, I'll give you an update. And then what we'll try and do is that when I go to set the columns up, actually, when we go to get all the cables set up, the hydraulics set up and set in, I'll see if I can't set the camera, and then we'll sum everything up. and I'll give you my thoughts on how it went up and the things you need to watch for and the things that you need to do, and we'll wrap it up once we do that. So I appreciate it. We'll be back when we're at the next step, so you just hang in there. Well, hi there, back again, and I'm going to show you we have a completed lift all set up and ready to go. As you can see, it's working. We've got the lift arms are up almost to the top actually. There, we got everything that's mounted. We have the cables adjusted. We've got the limit bar set. And we have an issue and a problem with it. Basically, it comes down to adjusting. We raise the arms and the arms won't come down. The reason they won't come down is it's not weighted enough. This is brand new out of the box. Tolerances are tight. It hasn't been greased yet. And we've got to go ahead and we've got to make sure that we've got all our adjustments set up right. For example, the carriage height, if you measure from the arms to the floor, are off about 1 inch. But if you measure to the base, they're fine. And what that basically means here is I climb this ladder is I'm going to show you in here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me go ahead and flip the light on. There you go. And see it better. Is you have the cable adjusters right here and down right here. And this one is not wound down as much as that one's wound down. So probably what's happened here is it's off a little bit. So if I loosen this, allow the carriage to come up on it and tighten that to lift that up while we hold that one over there stationary where it is, we can go ahead and we can get the adjustment right. You want to get them as close as you can. Specs call it to be within 1/4 inch. Depending on how you measure it, it's anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch out from the arms. If you measure from the base to the base of the carriage, traveling carriage to the base plate, it's really, really close and it's not too bad. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to do that, and we'll update you on that. And once we get a car on it, we'll go through and do the maintenance on it, which is basically to lube the tracks up with some grease, make sure that everything is set up and ready to go, and we get all our adjustments right. But we're in good shape. Everything came out good. All the bolts within. I did have an issue with one bolt because I drilled a little crooked, but we got that straightened out and in there. And everything looks good for this lift to go ahead and operate. And next, probably, I'll give you an update on where we are to make sure we got all the issues out. But then after that, we'll do a summary of everything. And I'll talk to you about the things that you want to watch if you want to do your own lift installation. For that, I will say here at this point in time, you can handle it, no big problem. As long as you have a little bit of mechanical know-how and the ability to raise it, and we showed you how we raised it with the winch, you shouldn't have any issues. All right, so we're going to go and make those changes, and we'll be back again to show you how it came out, and then we'll give you a final video after that on where we are with it operating and all that type of good stuff. So we'll see you in a little bit. Hi everybody. Well, it's early morning on tax day. I thought I'd do the summary of the lift project here and show you where we're at, how everything came out, give you my thoughts on what you need to watch for when you're doing it and how things came out. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you that the lift is up and we got a car on it, and we're testing the lift to make sure it does the things that it does. And guess what? It does. And it came out fairly easy too. My thoughts here are, if you want to do a lift because you're going to do it. It's not a problem. It's not hard. You need to have a little bit of mechanical knowledge when you do it because the instructions aren't great. But if you just use common sense and you look at things, you will find out that everything will work out just fine. We went ahead, we got it installed, we got it up. You've seen that in this video. Everything looks fine. We'll go ahead and we'll check different things. If you recall, I had an issue with it being stuck up. What we discovered with that was, what they do is they put restrictions in the return line in order to control the speed. Some of them are in the base in a check valve type situation. So when you do it, it just restricts how much flow can back. In my particular model, it has what they call a throttle valve. I'll show you it. It's this little nut right here. And that one was cranked pretty tight, so it was stuck up. There wasn't enough weight to go ahead and press that off. But all we did was, once I did a little bit of research, loosen that up. the track started to come down, and then we went ahead and we set this thing up such that it would descend at a reasonable speed for the car. We may have to reset it for others. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna pop this up just a little bit. We'll pull the locks and I'll show you that it indeed works. Okay, so we got it up off of the locks. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the lock releases. And you don't need to look up my nose. Sorry about that. There's release number 1. And on mine, which is a Titan lift, I got it out of the Eastwood company. They were the sellers for that. It works just fine. It's a 9,000 pound lift. It installed fine as we were talking about that. Now we just go ahead and we just hit the down arrow, and as you can see, we have a descending Corvette at a reasonable speed here. So we'll let this thing come down a little bit because we're going to raise it up a little bit higher in a little bit just to check the full height. I'm still experimenting with where the arms go. It's okay balanced, but if I could get the front arms a little bit more forward under where the engines would go, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable with that. So I'm going to stop it there because I don't want to go ahead and reset things. But all in all, it was not difficult. Just took a little thought. Probably the biggest issue, I think, is going to be getting your layout right, getting it laid out so it's where it needs to be. Everything is square and plumb to where you need to have it. Other than that, I would encourage you to go ahead and do it. You're really not going to have an issue, just a little common sense, a little bit of mechanical know-how, and following the instructions they do have to make sure that it's safe. So we'll update you in the future if anything pops up on this. I appreciate you watching this. Go and do all that jazz, which is like, subscribe, comment, and share the videos. I would appreciate it. And we'll keep doing content and sending it out to you. Anyways, thanks a lot. We're going to end this one here. I appreciate you watching it very, very much. Thank you.